Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for this video I'm just going to be going over the trades I took for the week on the funded challenge. So first one I'm going to be going over is going to be EURUSD. So as we can see, we had a break of the resistance over here, which I then took the entry over here. The reason why I took the entry was because my strategy obviously gave me an entry, but other than that, price action, we have two straight bullish engulf. So we have a bullish engulf over here followed by another bullish engulf which broke the resistance. So I entered here, put my stop loss a little bit underneath the break and TP a little bit above resistance, and as you can see, thankfully price did hit our TP. I might be looking for another entry in this trade because as you can see, price closed right above the resistance zone. So if we have some more bullish move, I might get an entry for this. But for this trade I wasn't as confident, mainly because the distance between the support and resistance wasn't as much as I would have liked it to be, so I was less aggressive with my entry. So I took I believe I put my take profit at 0.5% or something like that, so it wasn't as much as I could have made. So the next trade is going to be GU. Obviously we could see this big bullish move. That was from the Jackson Hole Jerome Powell speech, but before we get into that, I have like a whole segment on that like later at the end of the video. But right now let's just focus on the trade. For this trade I actually had two entries for my two different strategies, but I didn't necessarily take it because I was concerned about the risk. I was worried that because at the time I was already risking, I think 5-6% already, mainly because I had a lot of trades running. If I would have taken the entry for the two strategies, I would have been risking I think like 7 or 8% of the entire account, which again is pretty risky. So I took one entry. So as you can see, price pretty much just broke the resistance zone over here. From price action wise, we have bullish shooting star followed by a bullish engulf, another bullish engulf, and another some more bullish engulf. So that's 3 white soldiers price action. So I took that as an entry, put my stop loss a little bit below the resistance zone that got broken, and set my TP. And as you can see, price pretty much just ran straight after the TP. And as you can see, we had this big bullish move, which I'm gonna get into later on. And then that leads me on to the next trade, which is going to be silver. So for this, again, it's the same repeated pattern we've always seen. Price broke resistance zone. We had bullish engulf followed by another bullish engulf, so I took that as an entry. Also, my strategy also told me there might be an entry for this trade. The reason why I've been saying price broke resistance zone and then listing price action is because that was what actually told me, okay, it might be safe to enter. Usually my strategy says it might be an opportunity here, but if price action doesn't show me that okay, we might be safe to enter, I usually don't enter. That's why I usually say price broke resistance zone and then confirmation this, confirmation that, because that's what actually gets me to enter the trade. My strategy just shows me, okay, maybe take a look at this and see what's there. So as we can see, price pretty much just went straight for the TP, and you can see price has pretty much been ranging back and forth throughout the entire week, and we finally got the break over the resistance zone. So this is good news for me because it means that I might have a possible entry for this exact same pair this coming week. So I'm most likely going to keep an eye on that. And again, just like GU, this big break was again from the Jackson Hole speech from Jerome Powell. Okay, and now to the unprofitable trades, or the trades that was pretty much break even. So this trade had me really worried throughout the entire week, and for a couple of reasons, but let's get into why I entered first. So right here we have a break, a close above the resistance zone, and before that we had 3 white soldier price action followed by another confirmation. So I took that as an entry, and as you can see, price went up a lot. And honestly, I was worried mainly because after this day, which is where the day I entered, we have price closing here at this zone, and then price closing here at this zone again. So I was pretty worried that we might not get the break to the TP. So I was pretty much just comfortable with closing around this area. And the reason why I actually didn't close in that area was because on Thursday morning, which was this day right here, I woke up with I think 3 trades running. It was this one, NAS 100 and SPX 500. Those 3 trades were running and I was up, I believe, 500, because I just saw the overall gain or loss. I didn't actually see the actual amount of each position. If I would have seen that this trade was like at this level, was like as high as like right here, this close to TP, I would have taken it, because again, I was, like I said, I was pretty worried because we have just the price action struggling to break this zone. So I was like, you know what, if we could get a little bit above this zone right here, I would probably close it. But again, I didn't notice, and then we just had a huge sell-off on Thursday, so I pretty much just lost all my profits. I think I was up on this particular trade like 250 plus, and I didn't even notice I was up that much, honestly, because when I woke up and I saw the total overall of the trade, I was like, okay, we might hit TP, because a lot of the trades I've been taking recently have been hitting TP. So I just kind of put my trust in the strategy and just let it play out. Obviously, in hindsight, it didn't go my way, and honestly, after it went down, as you can see, it went to the negatives. But after it went down and it came back up a bit, and I was up I think like $30 something. I wanted to actually hold it on a Friday, mainly because I had a feeling that the Jackson Hole speech that Ron Powell was gonna give was gonna be a bullish sign, mainly because on Thursday we had a revision of the labor statistic, and the government overestimated the data by over 800,000 jobs. So that means that the job market isn't as good as the Federal Reserve thought, which means that we might actually be getting rate cuts. So that's good news for US 30, NAS 100, and SPX. And then after that, I think 2 or 3 hours later, the FOMC minutes came out, and it said that a couple of Fed officials actually were thinking about cutting rates during July, and they were also worried that the labor statistic, or that the job reports, were a little bit inflated. This was in July. It was before the revision of the recent one that happened on Thursday. So if they thought that in July, that means that the next meeting, or the speech that Jerome Powell is going to have on Friday, means that he might be more dovish, and he might actually say that they're going to cut rates. So with those two, I was kind of, this was just a guess. It wasn't actually like, oh, I know this was going to happen, so I'm going to do this instead. It was just a guess, and it was just something that most people think was going to happen. But again, I didn't really want to take that risk, because you never know with Forex. But I felt like I should have held it. But again, it's high impact news. I have a rule of never holding trades during rules, so no matter what, I try to obey that rule. But yeah, if I would have stuck to my guts, I would have made a lot of money from that particular trade. But again, hindsight is always 2020. So yeah, let's get on to the next trade. I was rambling a bit. So this was actually another trade that I was worried about. So let's get into why I entered in the first place. So we had a slight close above the resistance zone right here, and the reason why I took it is, although we didn't have a bullish signal the day before, we did have a certain pattern going on. So if you go back all the way here, you see a big bullish engulf followed by a little doji, a doji, and then a bullish engulf followed by a doji, and then a bullish engulf followed by a doji, and then a bullish engulf. So after I saw this, I was like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here. Plus it broke over the resistance just like it did over here. So my belief was that the pattern was going to continue. But then, as you can see, price didn't go my way. So the next day, price closed below the resistance. So after it broke it, it went back under it. And then the day after, it closed right above it. To me, I'm thinking, okay, this trade is struggling to break this resistance zone. So any profit I make off this trade by Thursday night or Friday morning, I'm just going to take it and just be happy that I made profit off this trade, because it looks like price is struggling. But then Thursday happened, big sell-off happened, everything was pretty much dropping, and price pretty much just went after my TP. I think I lost about 3 something from this trade, because honestly I would have liked to risk just 1% or even less, but the broker for this challenge it only lets me risk about 3 something for a trade, which is I believe 1 over 1% plus. It's the same thing for US30 as well. US30, whenever I trade it, I always risk over 1% whether I want to or not. I guess it's just what I'm given, but can't complain. Thankfully I was up for the week, so can't really complain about that. And the last trade I took was SPS 500. So the reason why I took this trade, we have bullish engulf followed by bullish shooting star followed by a big bullish engulf that broke the resistance zone. Friday we have a bullish shooting star, and then took that as an entry or as a continuation of trend. This one I actually had a feeling that price was going to hit TP, but it never actually happened. So just like everything else, I was holding, and then Thursday big sell-off, and pretty much went to break even, and then it went back into profit a little bit. I think it was about $25, and I ended up just closing with that small profit. This trade too, I was up, I believe, over 150 at a certain point, but again, I thought it was going to hit TP. Thursday sell-off came, honestly, my opinion, Thursday sell-off came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it, but again, sometimes the market is like that. If the market is expecting good news, it sells off the day before, and then the next day it just has a big move to the upside. So you never know with the forex market. It's unpredictable. That's why I always try to risk at least 1% or less. If I'm really confident about a trade, maybe 1.5%, maybe 2, but 2 worst case scenario ever, I'll ever risk a position. But anyways guys, that's gonna be it for this video. If you like what you saw, leave a like, comment down below any thoughts, questions, concerns. I'm gonna leave screenshots too of my results for the week. I'm also gonna add screenshots on the Jerome Powell thing, on the job reports thing, on the FOMC minutes thing, just so you guys can maybe understand what I was saying at the time. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.